everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica. In today's video we are going to look inside our new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory novel study. The only thing you will need to complete this novel study is either a copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl or some sort of version of it on Audible, whether it's from the library or Audible or audio. You just need the story in some format. This will work, like I said, with the book or an audio version. Let's go ahead and take a look inside this cross-curricular literature study for all ages. The first thing we have is essentially your lesson plans. It's going to split the book up to read it over the course of 5 weeks. During the course of those 5 weeks, you're going to do a variation of copywork, vocabulary, creative writing, comprehension, and summarizing the chapters that you've read each week. And then on week 6, you're going to have a review week where you get to do a lot of fun things after you've read the entire book. There are cross-curricular connections. This is where you can really kind of extend the book over all of the different subjects and concepts. So if you want to do that, there are activities and ideas for math, writing, social studies, science, art, and music, and there are multiple activities for each, so you can really dive in and make this like a full unit study based off of the book. You have my favorite quotes from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then here is copywork for week 1. Like I said, there is going to be copywork for each week, and it's going to vary. There's also going to be kind of a bold teaching point down here that talks about like why this passage was chosen and maybe some either grammar, punctuation, or literary things that you should notice about it. So this passage includes a long list of names, but instead of using commas, the author repeats the word "and" between each person. This is a stylistic choice called polismentum, a fancy word for using "and" more than usual to create rhythm or emphasis. Ask your child, how does the sentence feel when you read it aloud? Does it make the list feel longer or more important? Then we have vocabulary. That's going to vary every week. So this week they're matching the word on the left to the definition on the right. Week 1 writing, we're going to be writing a short narrative from Grandpa Joe's point of view, describing what it was like to work at the chocolate factory before it closed, making sure to include rich sensory details and his feelings about Willy Wonka and the factory's mysteries. Comprehension questions, fill in the blanks, multiple choice, and short answer for the chapters you've read that week. And then a summary for the chapters you read that week, drawing a picture and answering a few short questions. Here is week 2, so copywork again, and we're going to talk about adverbs. For vocabulary, we will be writing the word that matches the definition. For writing, we're going to write a diary entry from Charlie's point of view. We have fill in the blank, multiple choice, and short answer again for comprehension. And summary for the chapters you read that week. Now, again, weeks 3, 4, and 5 are going to be similar, just with varying activities. Here, we're going to be talking about descriptive phrases. For vocabulary, we will be looking these words up in the dictionary and writing a sentence. For our creative writing, we're going to create candy of our own. Comprehension, summary. We'll be writing a poem. Then after you get through those 5 weeks, for week 6 for the review, you're going to be doing a lot of fun things that are going to address the entire book. So we have a word search, a crossword puzzle that's going to be kind of a review of everything you've read, designing a new book cover for the book, doing a story setting activity, identifying the theme and supporting examples from the book, plotting the story, making sure that we're really getting into that rising action, the climax, the falling action, conclusion. Choosing your favorite character and doing an in-depth character analysis. Doing a persuasive writing book review where you're going to persuade somebody to either read it or not read it based off of how you felt about the book. Doing an in-depth movie and book comparison after you've read the book and then watched the movie. And I've also included some book and movie discussion questions that really dig a little deeper. So instead of just like, which did you like better, the book or the movie? We're really getting into like, did the movie capture the same personality of Willy Wonka described in the book? Which factory room stood out to you the most in the book? And how did the movie bring it to life visually? What kind of camera angles did the filmmakers use to create tension or excitement? And then some examples that maybe you should have paid attention to. Did the costume design help define each character's personality? So digging in just a little deeper. Then we have some figurative language activities. We're going to talk about what is figurative language, the different types of figurative language, the definition, an example, why we use it. Then you're going to go on a figurative language scavenger hunt in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and do a hands-on activity. So for that hands-on activity, we have some cards that have the different types of figurative language, like hyperbole, onomatopoeia, personification, simile, metaphor, and then 20 cards that have sentences from the book. So for example, the chocolate river was endless. It wasn't really endless, so that's a hyperbole. The chocolate river flowed like a thick brown waterfall. The children fell back as if they had been hit in the stomach by a sledgehammer. So you would just sort those into the different types of figurative language, and there is an answer key for that. Then there are 9 different ideas for final project suggestions, and an answer key for the vocabulary and the comprehension, and again, that figurative language. So if you were to decide to assign this to your child instead of reading it along with them, you would have all of the answers in the answer key.